Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Cheesehead TV's Packers Daily Chat. I'm Aaron Negler, the inimitable host of the proceedings. Hope you're all doing well out there in the lands of YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. The Packers have off from the practice field today. Coaches will be in drawing up game plans. We will be here chatting some Packers because that's what we do. Devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide, including everyone who's already joined us on the YouTube comment sections. Good to see everybody. El Diego, good morning. Andy, next, can you recommend a good strong coffee? Man, I wish I could, man. I got nothing for you, but you are going to need it across the pond for Saturday night's game, no doubt about it. I kick ass 44. What's up, man? Do I listen to any podcasts? Just Packers podcasts. No, yeah, I listen to Pax What She Said. That's about it. Yo, layers, baby. All about the layers. Yeah, I listen to Pax What She Said. That's the main one I listen to. And outside of that, I listen to music more than anything else. When you do talk about the Packers all day, watch the Packers all day, live and breathe the Packers all day, I need something outside of that. So, and I suppose, a lot of people tell me I should listen to this or that podcast, and I'm sure it's very talented at first, wonderful, very excellent. I have zero doubt about all of it, but their life's too short, and I enjoy music too much. Oh, I do want to give a shout out. I did promise. I want to give a shout out to Robin on his birthday. This man, this myth, this absolute legend who joins us each and every day from across the pond to talk some Packers. I mean, I don't think there's been a Packers Daily, a Packer Transplants, any of our programming here at Cheesehead TV that he has missed that I can remember in the longest time. Patreon, Zoom, happy hours, he's always up in it. So major, humongous birthday shout out to Robin. Thanks for being such a stalwart supporter of Cheesehead TV. I hope your birthday is fantastic. Undoubtedly, 2020 has been a tough year for everybody. Hope this day brings a little bit of light for you. And I hope the Packers give you a Super Bowl victory down the line here. Forecasting Green Bay for Saturday night. Early indications, Travis, was that there's supposed to be a windy, snowy, /rainy affair. It's supposed to be craptastic winter edition. So we'll see. I don't want to put too many eggs in that basket yet, because you know how things can change, weather patterns can change, etc. But early indications would indicate that it's going to be a slop fest. So we'll see. What else we got? May the force be with you. Go Packers. Thank you, Michael. Morning from Scotland. What's up, Max? Looking forward to the late one on Saturday. No doubt about it. Thoughts on the Equity League announcement? Lenny, great idea, bringing all three major Wisconsin sports teams together, and Titletown Tech, basically starting a fund for people to get access to capital. I think it's great. Anything that drives innovation, anything that drives entrepreneurship in the Wisconsin area, I think is fantastic. So I'm all for it. I'm all down. Let's do it. Craptastic winter is the way we love our football. Yeah, no doubt about it. Oh, get the Patreon app. Oh, you're asking Joey. Yeah, asking. I guess someone's asking about the happy hour. I think. Please watch the Patreon page today, because there's a chance we may do it tonight. I got to figure some stuff out, but probably tonight. Mason Crosby and Bill Burr clutch this week. That's well stated. How did the Packers lose against the Panthers? Turnovers, and big plays on special teams. They can button that up, and look, you start throwing the weather in there and sloppy conditions. The ball can bounce any number of ways. Guys can slip and miss things, and you're off to the races. So I think it's impossible to probably play a quote-unquote clean game in a tough environment like that, but that is how they would lose to the Panthers, is essentially turning the ball over and giving up big plays in special teams. If they don't do that, they'll be fine. How worried are you about Derrick Henry? Merk, I only worry about my children. I don't worry about football players. But let's beat the Panthers first. That's how I think about Derrick Henry. When we get to Derrick Henry, we'll worry about Derrick Henry. Deshaun Perry, thanks for the super chat. I have to smoke a joint when I see 58 in coverage. Well, that is one way to handle it. It looks like he's smoking a joint when he's in coverage. Oh! Yeah, it's not pretty. It is time for some more Kamal Martin, man. He barely played. I think he played 12 snaps against the Lions. I get he's a rookie. I get he's going to make mistakes, but they put out Chris Barnes there in the nickel linebacker role alongside Kirksey. Get Kirksey off the field, man. Put Martin alongside Barnes at least in those nickel situations. It's not pretty when Kirksey's in there. I love Savage getting in Stafford's face after that sack. He and Amos are playing with a little nasty. David, I loved that. I didn't notice it live, but when I was rewatching the game yesterday, you're right. After, he gets up, he's literally jawing it like face to face with Stafford. I love it. That was great. Chester Markle or Jan Stenerud. Jan Stenerud is the man. Always will be. Where the hell is Barnes? He played, Negan. He played quite a bit on Sunday against the Lions. I mean, he didn't make a ton of plays or anything, but he was the main nickel linebacker. I'm glad someone asked about this because I do get this from time to time, and I love that people completely try to, and I'm not saying you're doing this, Dustin, but people try to throw this in my face with a complete misunderstanding of what was being said. Nags, you said multiple times that MVP Aaron is gone and never coming back. How surprised are you from his level of play this season? All right, well, first of all, the style of play that Aaron Rodgers was playing, say back in 2016, the last time he was in the conversation for the MVP, is not how he is playing now. The MVP winning Aaron Rodgers of, the 2 years he won the award was very much an off schedule, outside the pocket, making magic happen thrower of the football, making things happen with his legs and his arm. That is not this Aaron Rodgers. I am surprised that he is finally playing within the structure of the offense, something that some of us have been begging him to do for the last 5 years or so. It's something he needed to do. It's something that had to happen. He can still use his legs on occasion. You saw him score a touchdown. But this is the way he needs to play for the offense to operate at a high level. You saw the fits and starts last year when they were trying to incorporate some of the stuff he was comfortable with from his time with McCarthy. I think he's done a fantastic job of remodeling his game. And you heard him this summer talk about playing from his center, playing with his feet underneath him. Rather than constantly looking for escape routes when the pocket is collapsing, he is looking for checkdowns and safety valves. That is the biggest difference. I think my buddy Ben Fennell had a great post up this morning on Twitter showing how since the Bucs game, the Packers have done such an amazing job of not giving up any pressures or sacks to blitzes, any kind of 5-man or more pressure. A large part of that is because Aaron Rodgers is getting the ball out in rhythm. I am a bit surprised. There's no doubt about it because I didn't know. I certainly didn't see any indications until this summer that could happen, that he could change his game in such a, I won't say dramatic way, but it's such a significant way. But he has done it, and the results speak for themselves. But when I was talking about, that Aaron Rodgers is not coming back, Aaron Rodgers is not coming back. The guy who gets outside the pocket and throws a 75-yard laser outside, running to his right, throws across the body, blah, blah, blah. Amazing throws, plays that you go, holy cow, I've never seen that on a football field before. He can still make all the throws, but that is not that guy. He's not outrunning linebackers. Hell, he's not outrunning defensive ends at this point. It's not who he is. It's not his game. But the fact that he has embraced the system, the high to low, the delineated reads, getting the ball out to the check down when the first things are covered rather than trying to escape the pocket, all of that has led to what we're seeing this season. So yes, that has been a bit of a surprise. But this is not the Aaron Rodgers Superman version. This is the new, older, wiser Aaron Rodgers, and the Packers are better off for it. Need more Vernon Scott? I would very much agree. MVS is really reminding me of Devontae Adams in his first couple years. If I remember correctly, his first couple seasons were similar to MVS's have been so far. Thoughts? Oh, Will with the thoughts. Kind of. I mean, I guess it's similar in the sense that, people have been very frustrated with him because of the drops. That was very similar to what Davante Adams went through in his second year. MVS is obviously a bit of a boomer bust player, whereas I think Davante came out of the gate doing a lot more nuanced stuff, especially when it came to route running. But look, I don't think there's any question you're going to continue to see Rodgers trust MVS. He is going to frustrate you at times. But the idea that, you got to sit back and wait and let guys develop, I think is very real, prevalent, whatever word you want to use, in the sense of they clearly have a path for these guys and they want to bring them along, and it can be frustrating at times, but that's what they did with Davante and that's what they're doing with MVS. So in that sense, yes, they are somewhat similar. I do think, again, Davante was a lot more refined, I guess, early on. They were using him in a lot more different ways. Obviously, MVS has been pressed into service at times at the number one because of injuries to Davante this year. But for the most part, Davante was doing a lot more working kind of three different spots, I want to say, his rookie and second year. And it's funny, too, because if you talk about Davante's second year, a lot of it stems, and I've talked about this before, a lot of it stems from the second half of the game against the Lions in Lambeau. That half of football is probably the most atrocious stretch of football Davante's ever played in the league. And that kind of tainted everyone's perception throughout the entirety of the season. And he still had frustrating moments. You remember the one down in Arizona, etc. But, for the most part, he was playing at a pretty damn high level, especially considering he was battling through an ankle injury. MVS's struggles, I think, are much more his own. And he's done a really good job of pushing through it and trying to find that consistency. We saw it this summer. He's obviously been up and down this year. He's coming off a really strong game. Hopefully he keeps it up. Where are the Dean Lowry haters? Oh, they'll be back. Don't worry. Adams was not more refined. Zach, than MVS, their rookie years? Yes, he was. It's not even close. Charlie Barron's buy his Cheesehead TV Bears shirt for the show yet? Matthew, I'll have to ask him. We'll probably just have to send him one. Do you think Kenny Clark's hit on Stafford should have been flagged? No. What? No. What? Are people saying? Are humans saying that? No. The one where Stafford got injured? No, he's running. He's a football player with a football. Kenny Clark is a defender. His job is to tackle him. He wasn't sliding, wasn't giving himself up. No. If that's a flag, just shut it down. Stop playing football. Stop watching. Don't. Why are we here? No. The secondary seems to be playing better. Jerry, I agree. I think my buddy Ross put up a great point on Twitter last night. One of the things that makes it so frustrating to watch the defense is the fact that you've got the perimeter guys and Jair and Kevin King playing at a pretty damn high level. You've got the safeties playing really well. It's the interior of this defense, the inside backers, the nickels, that just drive you insane. It's like a clown car every other down. And I asked Matt yesterday about kind of the rotation and how, they had to call a timeout because they had 12 guys in the field. They took a penalty because they had 12 guys in the field. It's clear they're running guys in and out, blah, blah, blah. I would think you'd want some more defined roles to keep things maybe not simplified, but more streamlined for guys. But they keep, trying to mix and match and make things kind of line up personnel wise with what the offense is doing. And I think it's to their detriment. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I do think the secondary is playing pretty damn well. And I know some hater out there will say, oh, Kevin King gave up a reception. No kidding. Yes, corners give up receptions. Not everybody can be all world like Jair Alexander. And one of the reasons Kevin gets targeted is because Jair's on the other side. But I think overall, the secondary is playing at a pretty damn high level, which makes the struggles along the interior even more frustrating. Can I do the MVS dance again? No. It's time for more thoughts. Thanks, Lance. Appreciate it. Stafford should go to the Colts. Lions can blow it up and start all over again. Thoughts? Yeah, I'd love that. I know Rivers. I think Rivers signed a 1-year deal, so it's a possibility. But I'm not quite sure what Stafford's contract situation is yet. Let me see what they got. Everyone talks about Love being the third string. LOLs. I just did. But what do you make of Tim Boyle, potentially trade guy like Mark Brunell and Matt Hasselbeck? Blake, 1,000%. If he plays anywhere near the level of what we saw this summer, next year in preseason, they will trade him. There is no doubt. Now, teams can have a bit of a pressure point in negotiations in the sense that Jordan Love is clearly your guy. So I'm not giving up something crazy for Tim Boyle, knowing that what are you going to do? You're going to keep him around. So I do think teams have that kind of in their pocket when we're going to want to look at Boyle, but there is zero question that next summer they will highlight, feature, however, showcase Tim Boyle in preseason, so as to try and drum up some interest. I'm telling you, man, he looked so good this summer. Like, it was shocking how good he looked in training camp. So if he can keep that up, they'll get something for him. Nathan, thanks for the super chat. Hard seeing Aaron Jones not going to Miami or Arizona. I mean, yeah, last night the announcement on Drew Rosenhaus's Twitter that Aaron Jones has chosen Drew Rosenhaus as his new agent. Look, I'm not surprised at all. And what I suspect is, I haven't talked to Aaron about this, but I would suspect Aaron Jones saw all these other running backs across the league who, especially coming off last year, were not nearly as productive as him, getting paid big-time contracts. And Aaron Jones sitting there going, well, what the hell? We've been talking since the spring, and we still haven't gotten anything done. I don't doubt for a moment that he got a little frustrated. I do wonder how much of that, he was represented by Lee Steinberg, who also represents Jamal Williams. Maybe the Packers are kind of playing them off each other. Who knows? But so I'm not surprised that Aaron Jones decided, look, I want to shake things up here. I think, sadly, the problem for Aaron Jones and the Packers is going to be, it doesn't really matter who's making those calls from the agency or what agent is making them. Brian and Russ, their thinking is not going to change. Whatever, I'm sure they're offering a certain amount, and Jones probably wants a little bit more, and maybe they want more guarantees, etc. But Brian and Russ got a team to put together, and as valuable as Jones can be, I think the history of paying running backs tells you that to go over a certain amount, to give them a certain percentage of your cap, it's probably not a wise business decision. Not to mention, you just drafted AJ Dillon. So, like I said, I understand that it is a business, and Aaron Jones does deserve to get paid. I just don't think it's going to happen in Green Bay, not with this change. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Green Bay will regret letting Jones go, especially if they don't have a replacement. Well, it's literally why they drafted AJ Dillon. He's a very different back, obviously, but time marches on. Any chance Corey Linsley returns? Mike, I think a very slim one. I'd be surprised. I hate it, and I can't say this on transplants because Corey gets all upset and yells at me. But again, it's show business, ain't show friends. And as great as Corey is, as wonderful as he is for the community, as great as he is on the football field, they drafted a bunch of linemen this year. They have some ready replacements already stepping in, to break the bank for a center, where you've already shown you can operate the offense at a high level even when he's not in there. Just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Isn't a smart distribution of your resources. So I think Corey will get paid somewhere on the market, just won't be in Green Bay. Crosby making that kick in that stadium after missing 5 there a few years back is a testament to sticking with your man through thick and thin. Very much agreed, James. I would just remind people that one of the reasons Crosby's still here kicking with us is because of Ted Thompson and Mike McCarthy. They were the ones who stuck with him. When you can look around the league real quickly and see teams like, you miss a few and you're gone. And Ted and Mike stuck with him. So, you can say what you want about their tenure, blah, blah, blah. Even though they did bring back a Lombardi trophy to Green Bay, and you should be eternally grateful. But the fact that they stuck with Crosby is freaking awesome. Don't you believe we need to get rid of Lowry and Turner? I believe we need to get rid of Lowry and Turner. No. Turner especially. What? Turner's had a really good year and played multiple positions. Why do you want to get rid of Turner? Lowry, I understand. However, all players have value. I do think they probably approach him about a restructure. And I think what you want to do is develop guys and improve at that position. But I don't want to get rid of him. He still has value. I don't want him to play as much. I certainly don't want him to be a starter. But, fans, I think it's a fantasy mindset. I don't know, just cut him. No, no, no. I mean, they may end up moving on eventually if they find something better. But this knee jerk, want to get rid of people all the time. It's just weird to me. But Turner, that's bizarre, man. Turner, he's played well. Are you surprised Chase hasn't really emerged yet? In the summer, you predicted him to overtake Big Bob. I did. I thought he would be further along. I will give the caveat that he did start training camp, a camp which was 2 weeks long, on the COVID list. I think he missed 10 days. So it was a little behind the gun there. Obviously dealing with the concussion now. And hey, that's a testament to Tunyon, who is absolutely owned as tight end 1. But hey, the NFL is littered with guys who came in the league at the tight end position and took a couple years. And I love the fact that Tunyon has come on, doesn't diminish what Jace is doing. And look, if it's next year that he breaks out and becomes a legitimate bona fide weapon, awesome. Then they have 2 tight end sets to really destroy people with. But hey, tight ends take some time to develop. He's going to keep on keeping on. There's only so much you can do, so many mouths to feed. They haven't run a ton of 2 tight end stuff, and when they do, Big Dog's in there because of his blocking. So I think he's played well when given the chance. Yeah, it'll happen. Our O-line depth is the real MVP. Go Pack, go. Al, you are not lying. That and Stenovich, the offensive line coach. Amazing work all around this year. Man, we really have something in Tunyon. Yeah, Nathan, no doubt about it. It's crazy to think too. But that's a perfect point. I mean, look at last year. He wasn't barely mentionable. I mean, obviously missed some time with injury, but he had that really amazing catch against Dallas. But other than that, it's not like you were sitting there thinking, oh, this guy's going to be leading the league in receptions for a tight end next year. That's why you got to be patient. Let guys develop. And that's why I talk about Sternberger and, just let him come along. We'll see where it leads. Big Dog's best season as a Packer. No question. Can Big Bob and Jace eventually end up being like Chimura and Keith Jackson in the mid-90s? Brenton, that's the hope. That's the dream. We talked about it this summer right here on Packers Daily. The West Coast offense is never more deadly than when you have 2 viable tight ends. And that season in 96 with Jackson and Chimura is the blueprint, so to speak. Now, obviously, they are not running classic West Coast. It is a very different offense now, but the principles of being able to take advantage of personnel matchups with that 2 tight end set is very much the same. And dictating to defensive coordinators what personnel they respond with and then attacking them in the passing game, especially down the seam, that will never change. And if they can get Tunyon and Sternberger both rolling, they're going to be cooking with gas. Absolutely. Can our next punter have the physique of Ray Lewis? That is funny. I think that's a great place to end it. All right, I'm going to have to get going. Again, if you are a Patreon member, be on the lookout. I think we're going to do Patreon happy hour tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern. So the info will be on the Patreon page. If you're not a Patreon member, please consider giving us $5 a month on the Patreon page, patreon.com/cheeseheadtv. Help support everything we do with the brand. If you can't, I totally understand, but do me a monster favor. Hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, tell your family. Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day.